Her body like the wild, wild west. What if you done found out, yeah? Riding in a big God bless. She's all inferno. It's a hell of a time.
Hello, happy Pi Day, and welcome to the Sunday Funday podcast, the official podcast for Wild Wild West Fantasy Baseball. I'll be your host today, Alien Arms, Chulapet Cuneiforms, Milkman, creator of the Gallon Challenge, joined alongside our co-salesman on the Bubble Cup Blender Boys, Mr. Austin Harley Lose, and special birthday boy, Lord Fat Meat himself. Fellas, how are we doing?
Fantastic.
Awesome. Super excited. Another episode, number 9 of our standing series, where we go from worst to first to discuss the offseason and life outside the lines, leading up to our draft less than 1 week from today, right? A little bit over a week?
No. A week and a day. A week and 2 days.
A week and 2 days. I'm getting too excited. Besides that, today's episode of the standing series is brought to you by Norton Healthcare. That being said, let's go ahead and introduce today's guest, Wild Wild West Father of the Year candidate, Mr. Henry Sprinklecake. Henry, how are we doing today?
It feels surreal to be here, guys. I've been following along the series all throughout. It feels like it's taken forever for my turn to come along, which I guess is a good thing. That means last year went pretty well, but I've really enjoyed the show, building up to it. It's been great material to listen to on my ride into work. It's just a great way to get the day started and get the excitement building for the season, which you said, Orms, is just now 9 days away. Single digits. Been watching that countdown timer go on the app. We are almost there, fellas. But life outside of fantasy going pretty well. Started a new job a few weeks back, so that's been different. Still with Norton, so glad the sponsorship is holding for this episode. But
I almost
I'm
freaked
actually
out there.
working in one of the hospitals these days, so a little different. Life is good. Got a toddler on my hands. He is getting bigger every day and keeping us plenty busy. He's happy about the warmer weather, sliding in the backyard, running around, playing with bubbles, doing the toddler stuff. But overall, life has been good. Just excited for the season to get started.
Amen. Glad to hear you're doing good, and love to hear in depth about your new job here in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it since you jumped the gun and went ahead and just hit it before I even asked. It's fine.
I was wondering, I'm like, did he ask me that? Or am I just like, I know the script by now. How did that's the first question come in? My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. You cut
Get ahead
off.
of myself.
You cut off at least 5 minutes of boring listening. So,
Damn, it's my life, dude.
hey, I love your life. I'm glad to hear it. We'll go ahead and go quickly into Austin. I think he's got a question for you.
I do have a question for you, Henry. Let's talk some fantasy baseball.
Let's do it.
So my question for you is, you've been known in the league as one of the hardest people to trade with, and only trade with farm system league members. Who made you this way and why?
I figured the farm system question was coming in some form. I didn't know that'd be right where we go to. But I'll answer the first half of that first. That I think I am probably one of the hardest in the league to trade with. I think that is a label that is well earned. It's not necessarily something that I resent having that label, though. I feel like maybe I'm a little unreasonable at times, but I think that tends to lead to good results when I'm out there trying to make deals. And I feel like I'm generally coming out okay when I do make those deals. Farm systems, that certainly, I think that's a fair point in the past. I know Q and I made a lot of deals over the years. I'm not the only one that ever linked up with Quentin on trades, but maybe I did more often than others. But I feel like I make trades with most everybody. I'm sure there's just about everyone in the league I've made a trade with at some point or another. Colton, we haven't linked up yet, but he's new, so I'm sure we'll get there in time. Who made me this way? I think we only have God and Jesus Christ to thank for that.
Amen. I love that answer.
Okay,
It's kind of
to
a
add on to
cop-out,
that, a little bit. What is like your plan of attack now that you don't have Q anymore for the farm system? Are you seeking out another one, or?
Man, I'd like to think I could turn all of you all into my farm system in some shape or form. Maybe not a steady pipeline like Q could be at times, but maybe just try and get a little bit here or there. Try and win deals. I mean, I feel like I don't have a reputation as a great drafter. I don't think I'm like have a reputation as a bad drafter, but I feel like I'm stronger than I get credit for when it comes to drafting. I've discovered several key league leading players, as you all may know: Julio, Ronald Acuna, Chris Paddock, to name a few that are of equal importance. So I mean, I'm just going to try and keep drafting well. And Connor said last year that I'm not a good in-season manager either, and I really resent that notion as well, because I think I put a lot of work into it and I'm making good pickups throughout the year.
Well said. Well said. We'll switch gears a little bit here. So our group has been popping off a little bit. We've noted that the first 34 picks in the draft are already established. So let's hear your 7, 8, 18, and 31.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm not gonna. I will try and not react if you want to take your guess.
No, let's go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm not going to say 18 and 31 for sure, but I'm comfortable sharing 7 and 8. And I think that that's not really revealing anything that anybody doesn't know at this point. I am being earnest in saying that I want Kyle Tucker at 7. Things go according to plan, I think he will still be there. There's still a week and a couple days for curveballs to be thrown, which I think applies to any of the so-called figured out top 33. There's definitely going to be some surprises within the draft and still this time leading up to it as well. But 7, I would like Kyle Tucker, and 8, I would like Juan Soto.
Beautiful.
And then
so to pick. Oh, go ahead.
And then 18, you're taking Strider.
That remains to be seen. There's a reality where he's not available at 18.
Yeah, you can probably be going at 17.
I wouldn't put it past Dawson to try and get as many of the same pieces as last year as possible, which, I mean, he's already got a head start. However he wants to play the keeper situation, he's already got 2 of his key guys from last year in Acuna and then either. I think he does ultimately end up keeping Ellie. It's just too much value to pass up on getting consensus like top 30 guy for free. I do see the appeal in having the top 2 players in baseball, and my top 2 players in baseball, and Bobby and everyone's number 1 in Acuna, but I think it's too much to pass up getting Ellie for free.
So I wanted to piggyback on that a little bit. So more on your draft picks. You got a little bit of quirky setup, but maybe a little bit, some are calling risky, with
That's fair.
Some wide gaps, maybe wider than you normally have. 31 to 85. Not that really people care about 150s, but 127 to 175. I just want to hear a little bit about your mindset on the trades that got you there.
Well, it's funny because going into the year, I feel like I think this every year. I'm like, I'm going to try and take it easy on the trades and maybe like not open up such wide gaps in my picks. And now my gaps are wider than they've ever been before, probably, as you said. So, I mean, one is just like addiction to draft pick trading, which I think we all feel on some level, that rush when you see those offers pop up and wanting to get something done. But just, I mean, that's not just blind trading just to trade. There's some strategy to it for sure. I want to try and cluster close to the top where I can get a really strong core, knowing that does expose me to a little bit extra risk. If 1 or 2 of those top guys ends up busting or getting hurt, that I could really be in a bad place. But hopefully I'm doing enough on the back end to where I can hopefully extract some extra value and protect against that risk. That second later gap wasn't really a conscious thing, but that one from 30 to 85, I'm pretty happy with that actually. So I feel like I was kind of pushing out of a range where I didn't really want to be in.
Interesting.
Take
Why don't you want to be there?
what you will with that. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think how specific I want to be. I mean, I'll give you a real answer here, in that I think it's no secret that a lot of the top elite hitters are going to go early and often. I think most of those elite bats are going to start to dry up by the time we hit 40s. I mean, there's always going to be some guys that rise above what we think their output is going to be, but so then I'm thinking pitchers obviously going to get pushed back, and hopefully enough of them last where when my picks come back around in the 80s, I can still get some good ones.
Where do you think the drop off is for hitters? What pick?
I don't know if there's like a specific pick, but it feels like somewhere in the 40s there is kind of you get to a little bit of a significant drop in hitting. Bless you.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all should have seen it on my end. All I saw was that big ass fucking nose.
Is he gone?
He's gone.
Oh
Gone
my
as quickly
God.
as he came.
Oh God.
That was great.
I had a heart attack. That was a great
Like, who's about to join?
filler. That was a great filler right there.
Oh man.
All right, so
Alan, do you got a question?
my questions were somewhat answered, which is okay. I did have a backup that I had in mind. Henry, when are you going to marry a man?
I don't exactly remember what was said or not said leading up to the 2020 season. It was kind of a long-standing thing. Last place has to marry a man. Obviously, we never agreed on that as the punishment. And now I am wed to a woman. You can only marry one person in this state. So first things first, I would have to move somewhere else.
Top 3 rapid fire. Who are the top 3 in the league that you would marry?
This has been a question.
Yeah,
already.
this isn't your ranking. This is just a rapid fire.
All right, who would I marry?
It's rapid fire.
Dude.
You just gotta name it. No reason.
No reason.
He's always top 3, and the first one in my mind was Graham. Just super marryable man. That Graham.
No explanations. No explanations.
Oh,
just
sorry. Yeah, just know how marryable Graham is. I would marry Dawson as well. And number 3, I'd marry Colton.
Rapid fire.
Might regret that one, but
rapid fire part 2. Who's your top 3 biggest threats to your success in hardware?
Ooh, I'll give Dawson another top 3 on that one. Am I allowed to explain these at all, or am I
rapid fire
going through? Okay.
No, this is rapid fire.
Fuck, top 3. Coates. Dawson Coates. Connor.
About time Connor got some love.
I like that.
All right, Dickie, you want to do the sneakers question?
He forgot to mention Rengifo. Yes.
Didn't know we were talking specific players.
Oh.
Henry, this is a Sneak submitted question. You're widely regarded as a top 3 to 4 manager, as close to a playoff lock as this league has, but have had from probably the high expectations you even set for yourself, some postseason struggles. 2019 champion, but never made it to the finals outside of that year. What do you need to do differently to get your name back on the trophy?
Damn. I mean, never in the Wild West era, which I suppose is all we care about in today's age and time.
Yeah,
I guess that's true.
I
didn't know that was a thing, but yeah, now that you mention it, I guess that is my only playoff appearance. I'm like Michael Jordan in that way, that I'm undefeated when I get to the finals, but it is just the one ring. I don't know, because I feel like I usually am trying to build for the long haul and have a team that can succeed in the playoffs, but that hasn't always been the case, as the evidence suggests. Just the one championship. Got some soul searching to do. I don't know.
And some would even call that a fluke championship against bottom feeder Chris Carlin.
Well, damn, I never even thought about it that way either. That's my one name on the trophy. I mean,
Yeah,
what about the teams that?
Dawson was co-managing him still at that point.
So that boosted a little bit.
Yeah.
It's also beating Dawson. But
Don't be too hard on yourself.
well, what about all the other teams that lost to Chris Carlin on his way to the ship? You all could have made it not a fluke.
Well, that's the question.
Yeah. I don't know. I would like to win more playoff games, win another championship. That's the plan for this year.
Good
Kind of
plan.
stung me with that one. I didn't realize that was my history.
Which is pretty specific. And I didn't fact check it. It was just asked by the snitches.
Nah, that checks. That's legit.
All right, let's transition to your top three, bottom three. This kind of goes back to a little bit to question one that I asked you earlier. In your opinion, who is the top three and bottom three most reasonable and unreasonable people to trade with in this league? And you can include yourself, but you cannot include Carlin.
Okay.
What can we include Carlin in this one? I feel like it's
just too obvious, I feel like.
I mean, I feel like he's kind of reasonable in a way because he's different and he kind of gives you very reasonable offers.
I'm here for
He's
that.
He's one side of the spectrum one day, one side the other day.
There we go.
Correct.
I think he's generally like pretty agreeable when it comes to trades.
But always on the spectrum for sure.
Well played there. Carlin is top three actually. Like now that Orms lays it out like that, and he's always trying to do something funky with his picks, so he's like down to make a million trades. So he like has to be agreeable. And there's been times where Carlin is like, "Sure, I'll let you move up 5, so I can move back 6." Like he doesn't care sometimes. So Carlin's top three. It is.
Yeah. If you catch him when he's wanting to make maneuvers, he's definitely reasonable.
Right.
But then after that, he gets kind of unreasonable when he thinks his picks are set.
Graham is also top three. I know it's like automatic and really played out at this point. Graham in the top three, but super reasonable dude when it comes to trades. He's not the type to try and really bust your balls. Maybe that's a not backhanded compliment to Graham there. You could negotiate a little harder, buddy. But Connor's also top three reasonable to come to terms with. I feel like there's been a few times where Connor and I have just like first offer sent either way. We've just accepted it with no negotiation. So maybe we should negotiate a little harder. But I think Connor's generally making a lot of deals too. So others probably would agree. He's a pretty reasonable guy to trade with. Bottom three. My first inclination is I'm looking at them, all three of them right here on the screen. Actually, I know that I'm like right there too. Obviously, I'm in the mix for most unreasonable, but you three in particular are ones where I have trouble coming to terms with, and I'll add Brock to that mix as well. I told myself going in, I wasn't going to do Brock in the bottom three, but I didn't know this was going to be the question. But Brock is hard to make a deal with, and that's not a bad thing. You're trying to protect your value, and you're not going to bend over. But
yeah, I mean,
you three,
I'm not trying to get bent, so yeah, I'm gonna be unreasonable in return. Honestly, I agree with Nick. I agree with Harley. But I feel like I'm very reasonable in the fact that I am a good negotiator, unlike maybe your top three.
This is one where you want to be in the bottom three almost.
Honestly, I think it's a compliment.
Yeah, you don't want Henry to sit here and tell you to negotiate harder.
I feel bad.
So we
for
know
him.
us three are not on his radar for a farm system.
There we go. It comes full circle.
All right, follow up rapid fire. Bottom 3 biggest threats to your success. Who are you least threatened by to your success? And you can't say Colton or Carlin.
I'm just gonna go straight to Colton. Not Colton. Chuck, not threatened. Not worried about it. Who else? I mean, I'm like scanning the non-sneeches is where my mind goes to. This feels like a mean one. I don't know.
Hey, this is the wild,
but I
wild
went
west.
straight to Chuck, no hesitation. Before I even said it was me. I'm sorry.
That one wasn't mean. The rest of them might be.
I mean, Chuck, you just get it, right? You know,
Yeah.
Now it's me. Oh, fuck.
Just be brutally
Graham.
honest.
Graham, not a threat. What has Graham accomplished in this league? That seems so mean too. Fuck.
He had a top 3 finish last year.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Thought I was third place.
No, you were 4th.
Regular season, he was.
Yeah, regular season.
So then we both lost in the semifinals, Graham and I.
Believe so.
Probably.
And why is he third and I'm 4th?
Regular season.
He win. But I was
Regular
third
season.
regular season.
Record?
Oh, you're right. Did we go out of order?
I shouldn't even be on this podcast right now.
It should be Graham right here, right now. I think we messed up.
Just delete it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're going to go ahead and
Start
cut
over.
it. We're going to do this over next week.
That's 2.
That's all right. We made one little fumble. You got to name one more, though.
I'll go Hardly. No championship, no one playoff appearance. You're on the rise. Granted, recent history has shown improvement, but not to a level where I feel very threatened.
It's fair. I figured I would be on that list.
At least
Well,
you
when
didn't
I
get thrown out first like Chuck.
I'm going to make sure to ask you that next year, though.
Okay.
And I excluded Colton and Carlin, so.
Mm-hmm.
Colton would have been my first answer. I don't even know if I honestly would have named Carlin if he was available.
Yeah, he's been fighting pretty much towards the bottom since Dawson stopped co-managing, but he had been good before that.
All right, and rounding third, heading home. Henry, please hit us with your bold predictions for this year.
Got a few of them in mind here. Try to think going in. First is, these are all like maybe not entirely bold, but without further ado, all Sneech playoff, plus Brock, plus ... Chris Carlin, last playoff team, or just a playoff team. I think he's in there in some regard.
What was that for again? Name that. Can you repeat that?
Bold prediction number 1: an all Sneech playoff plus Brock plus Carlin.
Okay.
More relief pitchers will be kept than starting pitchers drafted in the top 40. That doesn't seem that bold either. A little lukewarm take there. Okay. All right. All right. I figure could have 2 relief pitchers kept on this very podcast. Juan Soto out homers Aaron Judge.
Wait, hold on.
Who's the second? Really?
Yeah.
Who's the second one?
Orms and Nicky.
The gaslighting. This guy. Who am I keeping?
Hater.
And I'm gonna use my 4th round on picking up Hater.
Way closers are dropping like flies these days.
I mean, I might as well wait to pick him up in the 4th round.
Yeah.
All right.
No, get value out of something else.
All right. Fine. My bold prediction sucks.
Yep.
Whatever.
No.
Already done.
Maybe there's only one starter. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be 1-1, but then I'd be wrong. But Juan Soto out homers Aaron Judge.
I can see that. Hopefully that plays out for you.
I hope he gets injured in the first week.
Yeah.
I hope not. Cubs win more games than anybody else in the group's team.
Can we wager that?
Can we wager a regular season finish?
Yeah.
Okay, then we can get a little package deal going.
No,
Yeah,
just
anyone
straight
else
up.
in the group's team?
Anybody else in the groups?
Reds versus Cubs
Oh.
right now.
All right, what you want?
$100.
You're on. Go Cubbies.
I like it.
I think that should be a good matchup.
I guess push
Yeah.
if they win the same amount of games.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what the actual win totals are. I gave up gambling for this week, so I hope this doesn't really count.
It's literally like 2 game
For this
difference.
week?
Yeah, I realized I hadn't given up anything for Lent, so I was like, I'm just not going to gamble this week. But I didn't want to go all the way to Easter because March Madness is about to start. So now I just it's
He's
been-
good next week when the bracket drops.
Yeah, but this doesn't count because I didn't do it on an app. It was verbal.
It doesn't suck for 6 months.
This won't get posted probably until next week anyway.
There we go. All right, I think that's all I got in terms of bold predictions.
No, you got one more. I know you do. It's on the tip of your tongue.
Nah, that was all I had written down. But if any more come back to me before, I think we have another segment though that I'm excited about.
Okay. All right. Let's flip right over to it. Do you want to hold yourself accountable?
I do. I've been thinking about what I want to do. I love this segment, by the way. It's one of the more fun things we do on the podcast. So props to whoever came up with that. It's a great idea. But if I miss the playoffs, I will do the Waffle House Challenge. And I will throw a pizza party for all the playoff teams with some booze. I'm not going to get crazy with the booze. I'm not going to miss the playoffs, but
Will there be a
there will be
keg?
pizza.
Yeah,
Not a keg. No, I'm getting like cases in a bottle in this scenario. But it's a pizza and some booze if I miss the playoffs for both of these. And then finally, if I miss the playoffs, I will pay to get professional photography of all the playoff teams in a group picture with Liam. I'm not going to splurge on the professional photography. We're going to go to like Sears and get like the cheap ones. But
Oh, no. I love that.
Oh fuck.
Oh, boy. I love that. That's amazing. All right.
Those are some good ones.
God. Final words. Curtain call for anybody who'd like to say anything.
I hate you for trading up to number 8. But besides that.